Funny thing about this hobby, there's always room for an accident. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Running with Skizzers. Unfortunately, this week I wasn't able to get together with my buddy Jason to engrave the Men of the Forest jersey pattern. So we have a date of next Tuesday. We're going to get together and engrave some axes and see what his whole operation's about. I was going to do a little bit of a splitting video today with the Seven Pines Forge felling axe. I think from this point on, I'm going to call this the Seven Pines Forge splitting axe. This thing is an awesome splitter. It's double wedged, nice big profile. It's a toss-up if it's this or the Council Tool splitting axe as far as which one I consider my favorite. This thing just, it's amazing the amount of wood it can chop. I took it out the other day, split up some big rounds, and it's a hell of a performer. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to put a video out. I was working on another Seven Pines Forge axe and had an accident yesterday. So I won't be chopping any wood for at least a few days until this heals up. Probably should have gotten stitches in it, but the way I look at it, if I can get the bleeding to stop, I don't need stitches. I don't care about a little bit of scarring. And the axe that did that was this one. I think this is called either the camp axe or the bushcraft hatchet. I think it's the bushcraft hatchet. You have to excuse my little boy. He's up there running around. I just got this in the mail yesterday, and I was so impressed with the splitting axe. I just had to buy another one. His forging, in my opinion, is unsurpassed for the money. There's actually very minimal grinding on these. The only grinding I see on this one is just the hammer pull. That's it. The rest of this, just beautiful forging. You can see his touch marks. The axe heads are square. They're true on the handle. Nothing's out of place on them. Now, if you're looking to get into this brand of axes, the splitting axe, you won't have an issue with the handle. From what I looked on the Wise Men Trading website, and I didn't notice it until I got this in my hands, the handles are absolute clubs. They're just massive. No lie. The profile of this handle up here was the same size on this little axe. It was insane how thick the handle was on this. The pull, or the palm swell, as wide as that palm swell is how wide the handle was all the way down. There was no palm swell. And I looked up a couple of videos online. I think the channel is called Bows and Blades. That guy does a lot of Seven Pines Forge reviews. And what he was saying, talking to the owner of the company, it's one guy that makes all these axes. He leaves the handles thick to give you your own customization. And in my opinion, that's awesome. It really is. When I first got this, I was like, man, I got my work cut out for me. But being able to tune this handle the way I wanted, to where it feels good in my hands, actually made me think have a whole different outlook on getting an axe with completely ridiculous piece of wood attached to it. I did leave this one a little thicker. I might thin it down a little bit, but if you look at the profile of this, it's going to be a good splitter. And as sharp as this thing came, it's going to be a chopper. If you compare it to the Grants Force Brooks. Grants Force Brooks, about, say, 2.5, 3 inches longer than the 7 Pines Forge. This is a 1 3/4 pound head. This is just a little bit over 2 pounds on the head. As you can see, the profiles, this one definitely has a bigger profile, but I still think this one will be an okay chopper. It's got a Scandi grind on it. I didn't take the cheeks down at all yet. I just want to see how it works in its factory form before I go modifying the actual steel. If it turns out to be a good chopper, I'd like to leave it the way it is so I don't mess up any of those touch marks or the finish or anything. It also has a hardened hammer pull on it. You can see how thick it is compared to the GB axe. And basically I took the handle down right where the stock Grants Force handle is. This one may be a little bit thicker in some places, but honestly, I found myself with boys axes and bushcraft axes, even like the council tool axe. I didn't thin the handles at all. I find myself with these smaller axes swinging a little harder than I would with like a felling axe. A felling axe, I let them do a lot of the work. These little ones, I don't know if it's just me and I'm just not disciplined enough with them. I find myself shooting for the stars with these little axes, so I keep the handles thick on them. Haven't had one come loose or break, so I don't know. I think they feel good too, because even hatchet handles, you really don't see hatchet handles thinned down. So I'm going to see how this one works, and if I got to take it down a little more, I will. But like I said, if you guys look to buy one of these beautiful axes, be prepared for a lot of work. I saved all the wood shavings off this. There's enough wood here, as 940 Joey put it, to make a whole nother axe. It's amazing. So you will have to definitely thin it down. There's no possible way you could get by and possibly even be safe swinging it with the factory handle. Now, on to the Whiskey River handle. I pretty much got the bends out of it. Take my straight edge right on the kerf. Whoops. If you look, it's pretty well straight now. It still needs a little more on the vise, but I was surprised how fast I was able to get the bends out of it. I think what it comes down to was the handle wasn't properly cured. It needed more drying time, and it was just in the process of shrinking up and bowing and everything else. Now, I'm really happy with it. That's all it was. I'm definitely going to invest in a moisture meter for wood. They're pretty cheap on Amazon. Just so all the new handles I get in, and even my old handles. Check the moisture content. I try to keep this room pretty well climate controlled. It's steady 75 degrees at all times in here because I got Monty over there. 75's his number, so it's actually a perfect environment for axes, and I haven't had any issues with them leaving this room and taking them out, putting them in the back of the truck in below zero weather. I haven't had heads coming loose or nothing, so that's why I keep all my axes here. On to what head the Whiskey River's gonna get, I'm not sure yet. I got a couple here. First one is this Old Time Warranted. It's got beautiful patina on it. I watched a video today that Sven put out. He pretty much just cleaned up a lot of the heavy stuff and then blued a real nice cruiser axe. And I was looking at this one. Some mook took a grinder to this axe head. Now, they didn't take out any of the pitting or the rust, but you could see grind marks in it. So I took some sandpaper to it and got a lot of the grind marks out of it. And because I did that, it started looking like a new axe head. So thank you, Sven. I appreciate the video you put out, because all I did was clean this up with some rubbing alcohol and degreaser and put some bluing on it, and it took it right back to where it was when I got it. The other head is this Sager. It's a beautiful little head. This was one 940 Joey sent to me with the Connie. So I'll wait and see. I think this one's about a 3.5 pounder. This one's about a 4 pounder. You can see it's just slightly bigger. So I'm going to decide which one's going to get the handle. I do have another Keen laying around, so whichever one doesn't get the Whiskey River will still get a really nice handle. But that's about all I got for you guys. Like I said, I was planning on getting together with Jason, but that'll be next week. And in the meantime, I was planning on getting out there and doing a video on splitting, but like I said, until this heals up a little bit, that's gonna have to wait too. But hope you guys enjoyed the episode anyway. If you like Around with Skizzers, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.